And welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show, ladies and gentlemen. Joining us now is the Attorney General of the state of West Virginia, Patrick Morrisey. And Mr. Attorney General, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, it's great to be back on your program.
Well, I appreciate it. Good to talk to you again. All right, so what we have here is the Obama administration in response to the chaos that is the Obama website and all that kind of stuff. He has delayed the individual mandate to purchase health insurance for up to 6 weeks or so. Again, acting unilaterally to change, what they went around saying over and over and over again during the shutdown was settled law. The president once again takes it upon himself to just decide, hey, we'll change the law here, we'll change the law there.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see that regardless of the issue, the Obama administration seems to think that it can just make decisions and ignore guidance, regulations, and law. It's a serious problem. What happened last night, based upon the media reports, is that the Obama administration said that it was going to delay the imposition of the penalty for noncompliance with the individual mandate. That effectively means that it's a 6-week delay of the individual mandate. Look, that's at least a recognition from the administration that there are problems. The reality is, though, that's just a baby step. There's so much more that's needed, and this whole rollout has been so mismanaged by the Obama administration. It's time that people across the political rollout has been so mismanaged by the Obama administration. It's time that people across the political steer because this is not ready for prime time.
Have you been in touch with other attorneys general from around the country? I mean, can you, whether they're all Republican or not, I mean, can you at least get an order around the country? I mean, can you, whether they're all Republican or not, I mean, can you at least get an order?
Well, in fact, I have spoken to a number of the other AGs across the country, and we're very concerned about the implementation of Obamacare. We all know that there are real design flaws and that even the authors of the law called it a train wreck. But this goes much deeper. The fact is that now people across the political spectrum are starting to argue for a delay. Some people are saying delay the individual mandate. Some people are talking about delaying wholesale parts of Obamacare. I think there's going to be a growing chorus of not only AGs, but officials everywhere across America who agree with this concept. So, yes, I am in contact with a number of other AGs. We're looking at what we can do to, at a minimum, ensure that we're writing and corresponding about the problems that we're seeing in our states, because this is affecting real people's lives, and it's not funny.
Well, let me ask you a question, Mr.
States, because this is affecting real people's lives, and it's not funny.
Well, let me ask you a question, Ms. Ewing, to try to get the whole health care law implemented as written on time, not because he likes it. In fact, it's going to cost him money. He has several more than 50 employees. But the fact is that he doesn't like Obama being able to pick and choose which parts of the law he will.
Right.
Now, he has standing. I know Congress does not have standing. You guys must have standing to go to court in your capacity representing states, because I know you did it, against Obamacare in the first place. So, I mean, and as you said, not representing states, because I know you did it, against Obamacare in the first place. So, I mean, and as you said, which has been adjudicated, but he did it before that. Is there a way to stop this and to have somebody say, yeah, this is all unconstitutional? Can you do that? Can you go to court and try to get that done?
Well, we're always looking for legal avenues that we could use in order to challenge provisions that are unconstitutional, for legal avenues that we could use in order to challenge provisions that are unconstitutional. There's something pending in the D.C. Circuit about the eligibility for subsidies. There were some court decisions earlier this week. The judge did not dismiss those lawsuits. They are proceeding. I think they're furthest along in terms of making some of the fundamental changes to Obama. I think they're furthest along in terms of making some of the fundamental changes to Obama. New issues and problems emerge. And if the administration makes mistakes or ignores the rule of law, if there's something where the state does have standing, we're not going to hesitate to really get engaged. But the other point I would make is that a lot of the AGs across the country, regardless of their politics, their goal is to be one of the chief consumer protection advocates. And what we're seeing is that this is a consumer protection disaster. And so our job is to mitigate harm, whether we agree with the law or disagree with the law. And what we're seeing right now is that consumers are vulnerable, whether it's privacy or lack of information or a lot.
That's what I wanted to ask you next. We're talking to Patrick Morrisey, the Attorney General of the state of West Virginia, here on the Steve Malzberg Show. And you were talking about, you have talked about the fact that the information provided on these websites and to doctors and to the federal government for signing up and just doctor information that's now all going to be computerized, that it's a hacker's dream, but not only a hacker's dream, also these people who are going to be employed, navigators without background checks, and you say that many grants have been made to political cronies and organizations that are radical left groups that are going to have access to this information, courtesy of Barack Obama.
Right, so all of the problems that we're seeing here with the rollout of Obamacare are clearly foreseeable. We'll take the navigators, for instance. Back in August, I think I came on your program, and we talked about the fact that 13 AGs got together, and they said, look, the standards that you issue for consumer privacy are vague at best, and you're going to implement a navigator program and award all these grants, and in 32 business days, expect these organizations to hire, train, and implement all the standards and understand enough of the law to educate consumers. It was never realistic. So all of this is foreseeable. The navigator program's been fraught with problems. If you look at the data hub, they weren't even ready for prime time up until a day before they're doing a lot of their tests. The reality is that time after time, whether we're talking about the website and its functionality, whether we're talking about navigators, we're talking about the employer mandate, and then obviously now we're dealing with a lot of the issues of the individual mandate, they are far behind schedule. This has been a real problem, and I'm worried that whenever there are all these sorts of problems, bad folks step in and they're trying to scam the American public, and we have to do our best to stop that.
Absolutely. All right, well, keep up the fight. Patrick Morrisey, Attorney General of West Virginia. Thank you. We'll speak to you again, sir. Thank you.
Hey, thanks. Great to be on your program.
Thank you. My pleasure. All right, folks. So there you have it. Interesting, very interesting, and very frightening. You know, and it goes back to what Pallone said at the hearing today, which we played at the top for Congressman Blackburn, when he called it a monkey court, the hearing, which is outrageous, and then said that, we don't need, you don't need right to privacy. You're not providing any health information. Well, what about the other information? What about all the other information that you're going to enter on that website or other websites? And what about the stuff you're going to tell doctors? Because pre-existing conditions don't matter anymore? That's all that HIPAA referred to? HIPAA's protection for patients. Health Insurance Protection Policy Administration, whatever the A is for. And, you don't need that because pre-existing conditions don't matter anymore. I still want my privacy protected, Congressman Pallone. This is all insane. All insane. What are you going to do? I don't know the answer anymore. I don't know. Well, we'll see. Interesting testimony today. Interesting goings-on at the committee hearing. There'll be Kathleen Sebelius a week from yesterday. She will testify. So it's going to get more and more interesting. And now we'll see if this whole thing could be delayed for a significant amount of time. You got Congress, the senators up for re-election in Democratic senators in red states that are now on board reportedly for a huge delay for this. So we'll see. All right, folks, this is, of course, the Steve Malzberg Show. Hour number 2 is on deck. 877 Newsmax, 877-639-7629. Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV, and